This is lettuce, and this is water. They're pretty much the same thing. Salads are promoted as the health food, the weight loss food. People hear, if you want to lose weight, eat a salad. But oftentimes we don't question why. Why should people have salad to lose weight? What's the secret ingredient in lettuce that's magically causing weight loss? I'll tell you, okay? Lettuce is 96% water. So I could say, if you want to lose weight, don't eat anything, just drink water. Or I could say, go fill up a bowl of iceberg lettuce and you'll lose weight. Because again, lettuce and water are pretty much the same thing. Let's look at the nutrients in a cup of iceberg lettuce. Protein, none. Carbs, nothing. Fat, 0. Okay, well what about the micronutrients? Vitamin B1, nothing. Vitamin B2, nada. B3, zilch. B5, nope. B6, 0. B12, negative. Folate, oh, okay, hey, we got a little bit of folate in lettuce. What about vitamin C in lettuce? Vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K. Okay, pretty good. Lettuce can be a good source of vitamin K. We'll circle back to that. What about calcium, copper, iron, magnesium, manganese, potassium, phosphorus, sodium, selenium, and zinc? Okay, well surely lettuce is a good source of fiber. What the flippity flop? Where are all the nutrients? Listen, Linda, lettuce is just overhyped water. So by all means, drink water. That's very healthy. Stay hydrated. I'm all about it. If someone wants to eat lettuce, cool, right on, do it. But let's just call lettuce what it is. Now before the salad enthusiasts start getting a little saucy, leaving comments saying I shouldn't be using lettuce as my example for the base of the salad, that instead I should be using the superfood spinach. Okay, well let's take a gander at what's inside spinach. It's mostly water, and then as far as minerals go, ooh, there is a little manganese, so I could eat this entire cup of spinach, or this teeny little oyster, which would provide me with just as much manganese, plus lots of copper, some iron, phosphorus, a lot of selenium, and a ton of zinc from just this little teeny tiny little oyster. And as far as vitamins in our cup of spinach, again, not much except vitamin K. So I'll say lettuce and spinach can be a good source of vitamin K for now, until we talk about it later. As I was editing this video, I realized it would be helpful if I explained why spinach is considered a superfood, even though you and I can clearly see if I were to eat this entire cup of spinach, it doesn't really give me jack crack-a-lack. The reason why spinach is considered a superfood is because per calorie, it has a lot of nutrients in it. Because this whole cup of spinach is only 7 calories. So if I were to eat 2,000 calories of spinach, I'd get a ton of nutrients. However, for me to eat 2,000 calories of spinach in a day, I would have to eat 290 cups of spinach. And if I did that, I may just end up in the hospital in pain. Or a less painful thing I could do is eat 2,000 calories of meat a day and get tons of nutrients that way. And that's way more realistic, as I've been doing that for years. So I think it's a little bit misleading to say that spinach is a superfood, because who's eating multiple servings of spinach a day? Most people are just having the 1 cup and they're thinking that they're getting lots of nutrients, but not really. Spinach is also one of the foods highest in a compound called oxalates.
A really simple way to conceptualize what oxalate is. Your listeners are probably familiar with the concept that plants contain some chemicals within them which can cause problems for human beings. Well, oxalate is a type of molecule that is found in certain plant foods, and when human beings consume too much of this, then it can cause problems. That's a really simple way of looking at it.
I like to think of oxalates like crystals, not friendly crystals.
It can actually form like into crystals. And as you have these deposits of crystals within the kidney function becomes impaired. So around 80% of people with kidney stones, if you measure the stone composition, it's actually calcium oxalate, meaning that the majority of people who get kidney stones have a problem with oxalate.
You're full of oxalate crystals from all your years of spinach. So every time you ate spinach, it was accumulating in your knee joint and your thyroid gland and your shoulder and your bone marrow. So you maintain a certain degree of oxalate poisoning.
Oxalate is a poison. It's a known poison. It's a toxin. Now, ordinarily in small amounts, it's not going to cause that much of a problem. But when it's in high amounts, it has been known to kill people, okay? It can kill people.
If you've never heard of oxalates before, I'll link 2 videos in the description that go into more of a deep dive into oxalates. But in a nutshell, I would eat lettuce every day before I'd ever eat spinach every day. I mean, I used to eat spinach every day, and it caused me so much arthritic pain in my knees. Never again. Kind of getting PTSD just looking at it. Also, anytime I talk about the negatives or the downsides to having certain foods, then people take it that I think that these foods are poisonous or dangerous. Never ever eat them. And that's not the case. I don't think having spinach once in a while is going to be problematic for most people whatsoever. Rather, it's the quantity and the frequency that can be problematic.
And when eaten in low amounts, it's not necessarily going to cause people a problem. But when eaten in high amounts over prolonged periods of time, this can cause real kind of long-term health issues for a variety of people.
One spinach leaf is not considered a high oxalate food, but 5 of these spinach leaves is considered a high oxalate food. Just from 5. A cup of spinach is a lot of oxalates. What would be a tolerable amount of oxalates?
So for the general population, probably 100 to 150 milligrams is likely okay if they don't have any underlying health issues. Yeah. Half a cup of baby spinach works out to 768 milligrams of oxalate. Okay, half a cup. Half a cup of raw spinach is not a lot. Like, it's not a lot at all. And if you notice, when you cook it, it goes right down. So it's really easy to use a whole bag of spinach in a meal. The established toxic dose of oxalate, so enough to kill someone in one go, I think I remember it being 4 grams. So if you have 4 grams, then that is enough to put you into acute kidney failure and actually kill you there and then. I mean, if you're having a spinach smoothie with dark chocolate, with turmeric, with cinnamon, I mean, you can easily top 1,000 milligrams just in that one smoothie.
And oxalates don't just come out in one day. Oxalates do compound and accumulate. So if one day I have a bowl of spinach, and then the next day, and the next day, and the next day, I keep having bowls of spinach, well, these oxalates haven't left my system yet. And it can take years or decades for all of these crystals to fully come out of the body.
Oftentimes, someone can be accumulating this stuff, not getting rid of it for years. For years, in fact, for decades, right? For decades.
This is part of the disturbing truth about salads is there's not much in them. And in fact, there's even some not so great things in them as well. And granted, so far, we've only talked about the leafy greens part of the salad, which do make up the bulk of the salad, but there's other veggies that go inside of salads, and I hate to be the salad dream crusher, but even those other veggies don't have many nutrients in them as well. I should say, like, in comparison to what people think. They do have some nutrients in them, but not as much as people are like, oh, veggies, they're packed with nutrients. Not so much. And the nutrients in veggies aren't as absorbable as the nutrients found in animal foods. For example, when people think about vitamin A, they think carrots. Carrots are a great source of vitamin A. Well, 1 ounce of carrots is 4,800 IUs of beta carotene, and 1 ounce of liver is 5,100 IUs of retinol. So you'd think, okay, well, those numbers don't sound too far off. But again, carrots have 4,800 IUs of beta carotene, which is not the usable form of vitamin A. The usable form of vitamin A in the body is retinol. And so the body has to convert beta carotene into retinol, the usable form of vitamin A. And it uses 12 beta carotene to be converted into 1 retinol, vitamin A. So if we divide 4,800 by 12, we get 400 IUs of retinol in 1 ounce of carrots versus 5,100 IUs of retinol in 1 tiny little ounce of liver. Liver already has the bioavailable and absorbable form of vitamin A. So if you ever hear someone use the word bioavailable and they say that animal foods have more bioavailable nutrients than plant foods, this is just one example of what they're talking about. Liver has the bioavailable form of vitamin A. It doesn't have to be converted. It is the form of vitamin A that the body uses. Same thing with vitamin D. There's vitamin D2 in plant foods and vitamin D3 in animal foods. And vitamin D3 is known to be more effective in raising vitamin D levels in the body versus vitamin D2. Plants have vitamin K1, animals have vitamin K2, which is the usable form of vitamin K. So vitamin K1 has to be converted into the usable form of vitamin K. So I showed leafy greens are an okay source of vitamin K. However, if you type online how much vitamin K is in 1 cup of spinach, it'll pop out a number, but the actual bioavailable amount is less. On top of that, vegetables have anti-nutrients in them, like oxalates, lectins, phytic acid. And so while veggies have a little nutrition in them, they also have these anti-nutrients, which are the opposite of nutrients that absorb and bind to nutrients and take away some of the nutrition that someone's eating. Plus, too many of these anti-nutrients can lead to other negative health outcomes. Too many oxalates can lead to kidney stones and arthritis. Too many lectins can lead to ulcerative colitis, leaky gut, irritable bowel syndrome. I think of oxalates like dangerous crystals. I think of lectins like little shards of glass that can cut through the gut wall, making the gut more leaky and porous, leading to things like leaky gut. And actually, one of the things that has really been helping me heal my gut is colostrum. Unlike spinach, colostrum is a true superfood, incredibly nutrient rich. It's the first nutrition we receive in life as mammals that contains all of the essential bioavailable and absorbable nutrients we need to build a strong immune system and healthy gut. It can also help with reactivating hair growth and glowing skin. The colostrum that I've been taking is called Armra colostrum. It is a powder that you could put in water and drink, but I've actually just been dumping the powder into my mouth and letting the colostrum dissolve in my mouth, as colostrum can also be great for the oral microbiome. You can get 15% off Armra colostrum using the link in the description, tryarmra.com/LillieKane, or you can get 15% off by adding the discount code LillieKane at checkout. All right, back to salads. Let's address fiber. You hear fiber is good for the gut microbiome. The more fiber, the healthier you are. Firstly, fiber is not essential, meaning you do not need fiber to be healthy and well. Whereas like protein is essential. Humans would die without it. But with fiber, it's not essential. So what the heck is fiber? Fiber is neither good nor bad. All fiber is it is food for our gut buddies, meaning that if someone is healthy, their gut has more good bacteria in it than bad. Then when a healthy individual has fiber, again, it's just food for the gut buddies, those good bacteria feed on the fiber and they become stronger and more robust. But likewise, if someone's gut is overtaken by pathogenic microbes and they have fiber, well, those bad bacteria feed on the fiber and those bad bacteria flourish and become more robust. The majority of people nowadays have some sort of leaky gut or nasty gut issue, and many people don't even know it. But a lot of us have eaten processed foods, vegetable oils, seed oils, refined grains, refined sugar, alcohol, pesticides, and a lot of us have been exposed to things like shots and antibiotics, which all do impact our gut flora. And so for a lot of people, their gut may need to take a little time out from fiber, and that's why you may hear so many people who say they do a carnivore or a no fiber diet, and they're actually doing better, and their gut is healing because they're no longer feeding those bad bacteria in their gut anymore. Which if they aren't eating fiber, you'd think that their digestion would be worse because they would be more backed up and constipated. Here's the deal. Fiber does not make someone go to the bathroom. Fiber just adds bulk to someone's stool. Fiber is completely indigestible by the human system. Not a single human absorbs fiber. If you eat fiber, it will come out. Anytime we eat food, our body absorbs what it can absorb from the food, and then what comes out is not absorbed, it wasn't used, that's the waste. So when I eat a steak, my body absorbs what it can absorb, uptakes the vitamins, uses the protein, and what comes out may be much smaller because my body used a lot of what was in the steak. Whereas if I eat a steak and a salad, my body can't absorb the fiber, it will come out. So my stool may be much larger. Again, fiber adds bulk to the stool. which is why people think that if you don't have fiber, you won't go to the bathroom, which is true. If you don't have fiber, therefore you have less waste, then you will go to the bathroom less, but that doesn't mean someone's constipated. True constipation is when someone feels backed up and then they try to go to the bathroom and it hurts and it's a painful bowel movement. What causes someone to feel backed up? Fiber. I mean, there's many things, but too much fiber is definitely one of them. If someone's watching this right now and they're like, I don't have any fiber in my diet and I still have true constipation, painful bowel movements, well, it could be from too much cheese, not enough water, not enough electrolytes, or not enough fat in the diet. And now again, I'm not saying people should avoid fiber. I have fiber every day. I have a piece of fruit with my dessert each night and I'm doing fine, I'm doing great. I already did 0 fiber in my diet to reset my gut, but I think for many people, they would benefit from 30 to 60 days without fiber just to give their gut a little reset, give their gut a break. But in general, I'm not anti-vegetables, which it's like, whoa, didn't you just tell me all the terrible things about vegetables? No, not all of them. I didn't mention they're sprayed with glyphosate, pesticides, insecticides, lots of chemicals that can disrupt the gut. But I still do think some people can benefit from having vegetables. Here's why. Most people, when they look at my plate, they see brown, brown, and more brown. My ground beef looks like dog kibble. When I talk to my friends and family, they will say, Lily, cool, I get it. Meat, it's nutritious, it's good for you, but your plate looks gross. Can you give me some color? And I'd rather have people eat fruits and veggies for color versus Doritos chips and candy. I also consider vegetables negative calories. This cup of lettuce is 7 calories. However, the body uses way more than 7 calories to break down the food, absorb what it can absorb, convert the nutrients into what it needs to, create the stool. The body uses way more than 7 calories to digest and absorb this lettuce. So I tell my coaching clients, you can have as many veggies as you want until it hurts you. Meaning that if you like the flavor and the variety and the color on your plate, then by all means, go for it. You may find that there's a limit on how many veggies your stomach can handle before you start noticing more pain or bloating, eczema, psoriasis. So have as many veggies as you'd like until it hurts. Kind of a strange way of saying it, but that's what I tell people. I say eat as many veggies as you'd like, and then if it starts bringing pain, then I'd cut back on the veggies a little bit. But I think vegetables are also great for people who are bulk eaters or who like to eat a lot of food when they sit down to eat. So if I were to say have a meal of just chicken, or if I were to say have a meal of chicken and salad, then for people who like to eat large amounts of food, they'd prefer to have the chicken plus salad because it gives them more quantity, more volume, and a longer time to eat. So eat salads, eat vegetables. I eat vegetables sometimes, but again, when I eat vegetables, I'm doing it for variety and flavor. Vegetables are flavor, meat, fish, eggs, and dairy are nutrition. Don't be silly, subscribe to Lily, and I'll see you in the next one.